Alright guys, so in today's video we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to be going to the junkyard today. Again, as I mentioned, camping in is a project truck. We're not going for overall perfection. I did see that they got two Pathfinders in just yesterday. These are 97 models. There's various parts that I'm targeting from that truck. The tire carrier specifically, if they're even available on those models. They did have them available up until the 99, right before the facelifts there. So I'm hoping by some strange act of God or miracle that one of these trucks has that particular part. If not, there's a few other miscellaneous parts that I'm going to be diving into. I'm still in need of a door lock actuator from an Infiniti QX4. Not 100% sure if they had any left there. Usually when I search for those trucks at my local pick-a-part, they don't even hit in terms of vehicles that are available on the yard, but I go in there and they're still available. Because the QX4s do share a lot of similar parts with the R50 Pathfinder, it just makes it more easy for me to attain certain parts. In this case, the actuator, because that's something I need for my rear hatch glass, as I'm going to be adding a mod where I'm going to have a switch where I can just push and the rear hatch glass will pop out, similar to what you would find on a QX4. Also, I'm interested in getting maybe a third brake light, or what many would refer to as the high mounted brake light in the rear windshield from the Pathfinder. I'm also going to be looking at miscellaneous Honda parts also. Now, I don't own any Hondas currently. The reason why I'm targeting these other miscellaneous parts is because I do use them as a way to finance any future mods or repairs for any of my vehicles or anything that I might be working on currently. So we're gonna go ahead and pack up a few tools into my Ultima, and last but not least, we're gonna make sure that we bring a cardboard box, as I don't like to get dirty. It's like, really, you're going to the junkyard, dude? You know you're gonna get dirty, right? Yeah, I know I'm gonna get dirty. That's why I'm wearing my coveralls. But you know, I just want to make sure that I'm minimizing the filth, especially the grease, because sometimes when people are pulling parts, you have oil and antifreeze and transmission fluid, who knows, all on the ground under the vehicle. And I'd rather not lay in that. So I'll bring my cardboard box, and hopefully we find some Junkyard Gold today. So these are some of the tools that I like to bring. My 230 piece mechanic tool set, a parts magnet dish, assortment of gloves, keep our hands clean, little miscellaneous hand tools, flashlight, a ball peen hammer, some hose pliers or gripping pliers, breaker bars, sockets, and open-ended wrenches. Oh, and also my Eric the Car Guy safety glasses. And last but not least, a cardboard. Again, just something for us to lay on. Again, I'm anticipating things being rather dirty at the pull apart. So I'll just bring this just so I can have a somewhat clean surface to sit or lay on if need be. Just arriving to our local pick apart here. Just gonna pull in and find me a place to park. And from here, we'll then need to, get us a cart, and there's one available. Nice. All right, so we just got all of our tools and such in the cart. I'm gonna go ahead and pay our admission fee and get to pulling. Making our way through the yard here, get to the vehicles that we want. I just took the lift struts off of the trunk of this guy. Already replaced my rear latch hash struts with new ones from Rock Auto. Took some used ones off of this for the trunk lid itself. When I was pulling parts off of this truck, or beginning to pull parts. And I noticed that this guy had this plate on here. And I undermined the fact that usually the Pathfinders that have this plate also has, you guessed it, a tire carrier. Although I missed it. Somebody already took it. However, they left some of the supporting hardware, so I don't know if I'm going to take that or not. But this is what clued me in. I seen the plate holder, but I didn't really take notice of it until I seen the latch down here on the bottom of the trunk, and I was like, wait, this thing have a tire carrier? And sure enough, a true R50 fan came and harvested it, so kudos to them. 97 with 136,000 miles on it. Showed up here yesterday. They didn't post it until today. And either somebody came by today or yesterday and got it. It is what it is, but I'm gonna keep trying because I need that tire carrier. I did take the plate bracket off of it because I'm still gonna need that for that mod, so I took that. They didn't take that for some unknown reason. But yeah, there's only 2 Pathfinders in the entire yard. I have a couple of these pickups or Frontiers over here, and a couple of Xteras. But yeah, we came so close, guys, so close. But now I'm gonna go take a look at the Honda collection to see if I can find any parts that I can flip. Hey Eric, the car guy, if you're watching, I got your next donor vehicle here. 91 Acura Legend. I want to say the last time that I seen a Sentra of this vintage was in the late 90s when I was living in Antigua in the West Indies. My uncles used to rent these cars all the time, and they had a green one just like this one. I think it was a 95 model. These cars were awesome back in the day. But yeah, I went through the Honda section down here, and I came up crap, so now I'm checking out the Nissans, mainly the Maximas, to see what we can find. Found this old Sentra here. These are legendary in the West Indies too. Of course, this is the American version, 2-door. But in the Caribbean, you get these in a 4-door model. And in Japan, originated. And this one was a 5-speed. Almost bought one of these cars, I want to say maybe 2 years ago. Blue one similar to this one. I was going to buy it as a project, but never happened. But there's a very few of them still on the road today. This one has a clean body too. It's a shame that it ended up in here. When it comes to the Maximas, they do have a special place in my heart, as my first car was a Maxima. 97 to be exact. Got some more Ultimas in here. They have a 2013, which is a 5th gen, but it's been hacked and tossed and everything else. And not really good for pulling parts from, as they threw all the other parts inside and it's all soaked with oil. I realized the only 2013 5th gen Ultima on this yard, well, what's left of it anyway. When I first came here, when this car became available, the number one things that were taken first was the engine and the CVT, the engine support beam that goes underneath. They took that out. I mean, the interior, most of it is still here, minus the doors. But look at what they did. Chucked all that junk in there, all that grease. So you have to spend a lot of time cleaning up these seats. And pretty much all of the plastic trim pieces that I would be interested in, those are gone too. And the trunk was a complete waste. Here's what's left of it. It suffered some front end damage, but you can see where people have hacked pieces off to do what they need to do, whatever the project is that they're working on. But still exhaust parts left, both mufflers. They took the tips, of course, but the mufflers are still here. Yeah, a 5th gen Ultima in a pick-apart here in Nevada is a rarity. You never, ever, almost ever see them. And yeah, I'm not biased to makes and models. So for all you Toyota fans, here's a Toyota Corolla hatchback, 1990, automatic. These cars too were legendary in the Caribbean, back in the late 80s, early 90s. Man, if only I had a little bit more coin today. That Maxima over there got a full set of premium matching wheels with brand new tires, except one of them on the driver's side in the rear has sidewall damage. Same exact tires that I got on my Ultima on my set of G35 wheels. Same bolt pattern, same tire size and everything. That is gold right there. I just had to stop and have a little bit of a nostalgic moment. So I came across the Suzuki Grand Vitara. Me and this vehicle have a history, as this was actually the vehicle that I learned how to drive in. Taught myself how to drive in one of these in the Caribbean. The one that I was driving was a automatic with a four-wheel drive. This one is a two-wheel. But man, yeah, it's a nice one. The body, not too bad. Still got the original cover for the spare tire here. This one only had 101,000 miles, baby miles for this SUV. Look what we found hanging out here. Another nostalgic moment, and I wasn't gonna pass this one. This is a old Mazda pickup truck. My granddaddy actually used to drive one of these. Not this one. I believe this one is the first generation. His was a little bit newer. I think his was like a mid-90s model. And ironically, his too was also blue. I'm currently back at home in my garage. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these parts out of my trunk. I'm gonna lay everything out so you guys can see the treasures that we were able to find today. So back in the garage, what we were able to salvage today from the Pathfinder with the elusive tire carrier, we got the third brake light, or high mount stoplight, as many would refer to it, and the license plate holder. I'm still flabbergasted as to why they did not take this. Personally, if I'm gonna do that mod, which I do plan on doing it at some point in the future, if I'm ever able to capture that tire carrier, I'm gonna go ahead and get the OEM license plate too. I want it to look OEM. You know, it makes it look even better and makes for an interesting subject matter to speak on with your fellow R50 owners. Here we have some lift struts for the trunk. The ones on Camper Dandy still work, but I much prefer these. These seemed a little bit stronger, and they were cheap. They're only like $4 a piece or something like that. So I got those, and then I got a couple of these plastic push pins. As we all know, these things break all the time. I needed some for some of my doors, my trunk lid, and a couple other places in the trunk area. And then, last but not least, Mr. Manual shift knob. Scored this guy off of a late 90s Honda Civic, I believe it was. Yeah. But the cool thing about these shift knobs, they pretty much fit everything. I mean, this is a standard H, so personally, I wouldn't mind putting this in my truck, as it too is a 5-speed also. I have an actual OEM Nissan shift knob, and now that I'm comparing these two, they look alike. Now, the one that's in my truck, I'm not sure if it's OEM. It looks to be, although the numbers are no longer present on it, and it's just worn. And I wanted to swap it out, but these types of shift knobs, they don't match the mystique and color of the shifter boot. And then it kind of takes away from, you know, my transfer case shifter knob. So it's kind of a toss up there, but I'll bring the other shift knob out so you guys can see them side by side and let me know what you think. So here's the Nissan OEM shift knob. This came off of a late 90s Pathfinder, I believe it was. Or it might have been like a 99 2000 model, I'm not quite sure. The shift boot was a complete loss. This came off of a two-wheel drive Pathfinder. I mean, look at the side of it, right? That's the Nissan. And then look at our Honda. You see the similarities there? Now, granted, the insides are different. That's the Honda one that I just showed you. This is the Honda. And this is the Nissan. But I mean, these things look pretty similar to me. I mean, yeah, a shift knob is a shift knob. So yeah, I have 2 extra shift knobs. Again, they're still in good shape like these are. I mean, hey, personally, I prefer the OEM stuff. The aftermarket ones, they're cool, but they look just kind of ricey in my opinion. But, you know, I'm an OEM guy. It's really hard to find a Pathfinder 4x4 that's a 5-speed. They're even more rare. So when I come across the manual 2-wheel drive ones, you know, I always stop and appreciate them and then get the parts, because if I don't get them, somebody else will. We came so close to getting that tire carrier. I can't believe how close I was. This is the closest that I've ever come. Man, they're rare. When one comes, you got to be first in line. Otherwise, it's somebody else's treasure. So kudos to the guy that was able to pull that part. Personally, if I was you, I would have took all the other corresponding parts, including this license plate frame. And I got this guy with the light still attached, the harness, you know, and then same thing with our third brake light. So yeah, I think all in all, I did pretty good, but I would have done much better if I had that tire carrier. I'll try again next time.